But God builds you in the areas where you're weaker, right? Mm-hmm. So for some men, the domestic side of things are a struggle, but for me, it's not a struggle. The patience and the grace is a struggle for me.
Yeah,
and I probably need that across my life.
Let me make some wives jealous. When Kevin is satisfied and his intimacy bank is full, he is picking up kids, dropping off kids, fixing dinner, cleaning up, washing clothes. And one would think that would be motivation to keep your bank full. But when I'm sleepy, bruh. Hey guys, this is Aisha Shelton.
And this is Kevin Shelton.
Welcome back to Marriage and Real Estate.
Another week, another episode.
Another week.
I have to really concentrate on my enunciation. Enunciation in my dictation, because I feel like I have a lisp every time I watch an episode this week. I don't know. I think differently than I hear myself.
Yeah.
On the thing, so it's interesting. So this week we're talking about keeping intimacy alive. A topic after my own heart.
After his own heart, for sure.
So no, I think the reason that I chose this topic was, of course, I'm very passionate about it, but it's also something that's super important. I think Chris Rock had the joke. It says, I won't be vulgar on the podcast.
Yeah.
But he basically said, when you're smashing, you forgive. When you're not smashing, you don't forgive.
That has proven very true in my marriage. But
intimacy is more than that, though.
This is also a great week to discuss this topic because it won't be filled with animosity because our intimacy levels have gone up
because you've been smashing.
Because you've been nice.
That is true. I'll take it. I think that I feel close, when we're connecting on all cylinders and, business is working and we're connecting personally and we're connecting on our friendship. I think for me, that's when I feel loved all the way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I don't feel that way, I'm like, ew.
I think when our intimacy is hanging on by a vine, our problem is the chicken and the egg. So I'm saying be nice to me and I don't want to say be nice, but be gracious. Be gracious and the intimacy will increase. And he's like, increase the intimacy and I'll be gracious. And so we have this
You got to define your be nice because I swear you always make it seem like I treat you horrible.
I know. Okay, that's not what I mean. I mean, be gracious. And when I say be gracious, I guess what I'm saying is have grace when I want to sleep instead. And then the next time it'll be, I'll be more obliged to oblige.
Sometimes.
Okay, see, great.
No. I am grateful, but I need you to understand that it is sometimes, because sometimes you hit me with that back-to-back sleep. I'm like
chicken and the egg. So his argument is always do this and I will be more gracious. And I'm like, be more gracious and I'll do this more. So
now I have to say, for me, it always comes from a place of, I really, really like you. I lust after you. I think I have a lot of attraction to you. You know what I mean? You kind of like everything I want. So I'm always chasing, and that keeps me engaged. And it's really easy to pursue you. Now that don't mean I don't have to get over myself sometimes when I'm in my feelings. But in a regular day, it's really easy to pursue you because, I like you a lot. You're attractive and stuff. So beautiful. Look at your braids.
Thank you. I like you a lot too. I just don't walk around lusting like a man does. I think that's a man thing. And not that some women don't. I'm just saying.
I think of one woman in my mind.
I think of the same woman that you think of the same woman that you think of. But I think men, and I mean, this is proven true by all of the literature that we've read, the amount of times men think about sex in a day compared to the amount of times that women think about sex in a day is a lot lower. Mm-hmm. I feel like for good reason though, right? Like you're a mother, you're a wife, you work, there's so many other things in your mind that's when you put it on the hierarchy, it doesn't always end up at the top. It should certainly be at the top. Mm-hmm. But when we prioritize in our mind as mothers, it's like all of these other things that have to be done.
You got a hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
And your hierarchy is...
It starts with sex.
It does.
I don't need food. I don't need water. I don't need shelter. I need sex.
You don't need sleep or nothing. I'm like, man, we had such a long day. We're both really tired. That don't matter to you. After I get
sex, I will get everything else.
Yeah, see.
It will motivate me to do everything else I need to do. Sex first. Everything else after.
Everything else after.
So define intimacy for you, though, because for me, it's sex and sexual stuff. Define it for yourself.
For me, it's when we are communicating well. Okay. And when we're on the same page, right? Like when you're happy and I'm happy, when everything is seamless, that's intimacy to me. And then the other part is just like a bonus.
So you could have all that without the sex?
No. I still want to have sex, but if I had to prioritize, it was like you could either have this good communication or good sex. I'm like, give me communication.
I'm glad to know that if I ever got like crippled from the waist down, we could still be married for a very long time.
Ooh, don't test that theory, okay?
Nah, if I get crippled from the waist down, you're going to have to take me out of that thing.
Here you go.
I'm out this thing,
it's too much. It's more to life than, sex.
Starts off with sex.
It doesn't.
Well, we can agree to disagree.
So what are some of the ways that we have, and I feel like some of our lessons have come through struggle, right?
That is true.
Before it was triumph and success. And I also feel like it waxes and wanes, right? So we'll be like really good, and then we'll be like really bad. And then we'll be like, all right. And then we'll be really good. So what are some of the ways that you had in mind to share with our audience of how to keep intimacy alive?
So, I'll try to go outside of the bounds of just give him sex, girl. And I think that going back to his needs, her needs, knowing your spouse's love language and doing the things that matter to them, right? Like my love language is acts of service. So when you make breakfast, I feel intimate. I feel connected with you, right? Or when you go out of your way to do something for me, I feel intimate and connected. I think, your love language is quality time and physical touch, but not sexual touch, which, that deviation is special. So when we sit on the couch and watch a movie and I'm rubbing you, but I'm not like rubbing your private parts. I'm rubbing your leg or your back.
Private parts?
I'm just saying. We grown. It's a marriage podcast.
Okay.
But that's intimacy for you, right? Or when we're spending time sleeping, which is random as fuck, but you like that, right? Or when we're riding in cars for long periods of time, just talking, you like that. So that's intimacy for you based on your love language. And I think that playing in those bounds and finding creative ways to reinvent that wheel is good to keep it fire. What do you think?
I think that in its most optimal state for us, when our intimacy is the best, is when we are on the same page. And I'm going to say this a lot because I truly believe this, when you are the most gracious, right? So like when I am tired and you want to have sex and I'm just like, man, just please let me just sleep. And you'd be like, all right. And you'd be nice about it, not like, man, you always do this, man. Ugh,
you have no clue how hard it is to be nice to you. I'd be like,
oh my God, it's so annoying. But I digress. So when you're like, you know what? I know that you're really tired. I know that you've had a long day. I'm going to let you rest.
But you have long days every day.
Ooh, but see, here's where you're going to miss your blessings, son. So when you be like, oh, I know you had a long day. I'm going to let you rest. I'd be like, dang, I really just want to give you some right that gives me the, you know what I'm saying? And the way that I hear it for other people, that's how it manifests for us in our relationship. The way that I hear it manifest for some of, my friends is that like when the husband picks up, some of the duties around the house or with the kids and they go, it's like, ooh, I really want to, you know what I'm saying? So you have to find out what that thing is for your relationship. And for me, it's grace. Like
that seems like you know what? I'll say this. God gives you what you can handle, right? So my struggle is giving you grace in your sleepiness. Because it's real easy for me to pick up housework and stuff. I do that all the time anyway. Or pick up the kids or do something, whatever. Those are strengths for me. I'd be like, I'm a shine in this shit. But God builds you in the areas where you're weaker, right? So for some men, the domestic side of things are a struggle. But for me, it's not a struggle. The patience and the grace is a struggle for me.
Yeah,
and I probably need that across my life.
Let me make some wives jealous. When Kevin is satisfied and his intimacy bank is full, he is picking up kids, dropping off kids, fixing dinner, cleaning up, washing clothes. And one would think that would be motivation to keep your bank full. But when I'm sleepy, bruh.
See, when you got a negative balance in your pay with your P card, you need to put in some deposits. You got to pay with your...
First of all, we talk about this in therapy. When sex is transactional, I can give you transactional sex. You will not like it.
That's true. It's not intimate. Like when sex is transactional, I don't feel connected to you intimately. So I don't like it.
Stop coming at me like I owe you in vagina. Please.
I don't want to come at you. I just want to come with you.
Wow. I thought you said you were going to keep it.
I kept it PG. That's pretty PG. I've been like dancing around eggshells this whole time. I could get like rowdy and ratchet.
So don't do it.
No.
I appreciate that. Don't do it.
No.
Don't embarrass me.
So we're going on vacation and I'm super excited.
This is a setup, y'all.
Why?
Okay, go.
What is this a setup for?
I don't know.
I'm saying, I think that, for us, keeping our intimacy alive, part of that is spending time away from the children and stuff like that. So this is a refresher for us. And we haven't been on a vacation in a year and a half.
True.
Like, I'm tired.
True.
I want to go on vacation with you.
Look, so we have two different views of what vacation looks like, right?
You can imagine what it looks like for her.
Right. Okay. True. So Kevin is like, for Kevin, he has this vision of vacation sex. I guess that's a thing, right?
Yes.
And in Kevin's mind, that just means from sun up to sundown, it's just sex. And vacation for me is a lot of sleep, a lot of reading, somewhere on a beach. So you see why we sometimes have a problem on vacation.
We have to find the hybrid because I don't want to have sex all day. I want to eat brunch sometimes too. But then you go right back to sex. So, I will give you ample amount of time to sleep and read books. If you give me ample amount of sex.
As long as we can be, as long as you can give me.
Make a pie chart. Our ratios need to be aligned.
A 1-to-1. I let you read. Okay. I don't know. Well, it'll be a good vacation. But I think if we both focus on giving each other what we want, then we'll be happy, right? So like if my focus is, I want to make sure that you have a good time and your view of vacation sex is partly fulfilled.
I'll take it partly.
Okay. This is documented.
I think communication is definitely key. And our therapist says that it's hard for me to even admit that I need to do a consistent, better job of communicating and having lower expectation.
Because if you lower those expectations, I swear I'll knock them out the park.
I feel like I'm giving up so much though. I'm like,
are you kidding?
Yeah, because it's like I want filet mignon I want chopstick from Luby's. And not that it's chopstick from Luby's by any stretch of the matter. What I mean is that's how I feel, lowering my expectations. But I also come from a very high expectancy of myself, right? So I think that's more of a self issue,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily on you. Patience is something that I'm actively working on. So
That's true.
yeah.
Doing good this week, babe.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's week by week. It's day by day.
Keep it up.
That's all I got.
Last night your patience was thin. I was like, bruh.
How was my patience?
You did really good though.
How was my patience?
Because I went to sleep on you. You didn't like it. You really tried to rile me up.
I was I was pissed. I had to go to sleep. I was like, in my pillow. You know, you'd be so mad. You like get up and storm out the room and realize you don't want to go nowhere. So you turn back around and lay back in the bed.
I don't think anybody does that but you.
We'll see. Leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Like I went out, I'm like, I'm gonna watch TV. I was like, man, I'm tired.
And you woke up in such a good mood too. When you went to sleep last night, I was like, oh, you're gonna wake up with a bad attitude, but I can't deal with that right now. I'm tired. And you woke up with such a good attitude. I was like,
I think I had a good
That's
dream.
how you do it. That's how you do it. If you bounce back well, like, okay, I'm disappointed, and then you bounce back with grace, I'm telling you, the things I'll do, you don't even want to know.
Girl, please. I would say I have faith. But come on, man. Come on, you put too much sauce on it.
I'm growing.
You put growing. Too much sauce. Oh yeah, like you Miss Cleo the fuck out of me. You're like, I'm calling me now. Watch your fortune.
Okay, just kidding. But
just be like, hey, I'm gonna be there for you. You don't have to. Don't jazz it up. That just heightens the expectations when you jazz
You're right.
it up.
My bad. Okay, my bad.
I mean, so communication is key. Finding what each other likes. Working towards pleasing each other, concentrating on your love language, and then mutual agreement. I think that while I'm in protest most times, in the times that I agree with you on, you know, how we proceed, it works out in my favor. It's just, you know, maximizing the patience.
You see it. You see the big vision.
It's definitely a big vision. You know, my thought process is we connect on so many levels. That this is our work, you know, this is our struggle point in our marriage specifically. But everything else makes it easier to work on this with you. And I'm definitely committed to working on this.
I don't know where or who said this before, but it was something about if you spent as much time trying to please your partner as you do trying to get pleasure, then the other person, then you both will be satisfied, right? Does that make sense?
I don't know if it's applicable to us. How much time do you spend on trying to get your own pleasure? Not much time.
Because I'd be too busy worried about yours.
No, here's an applicable definition.
Okay.
If you spent as much time trying to get sleep.
No. Don't even go there. No.
Don't violate your sleep.
Don't do it. That is one of my...
Sleep is your sacred.
Because the person that you want me to be is not available when I'm tired. She is not there. She is inaccessible. The
person that you want me to be is not available when I'm horny, so we have a crux.
You know what? We can't solve this problem on this podcast
I'm
today.
not trying to solve it. We're just talking.
We will book an appointment.
I think we're doing good this week, though.
I think that we are doing good this week, but I'd like to talk to our therapist when we're doing good sometimes. Like, look, girl, we get it right sometimes.
I think she knows that. She's been with us long enough now. It's been like 2 years.
That's true.
Yeah, so, I mean, but no, that's all I got, man. This is going to be a short one, 2 minutes short.
It'll be a short one. I honestly just want to say that it's the communication that makes the difference in how you communicate. So not only that you communicate, because you communicate, but it's how you communicate your wants and your needs and your desires. And I'm sorry, but in all aspects, grace is just necessary.
Grace, patience.
Whatever.
Guys, I'm talking to myself as much as I am to you. Patience, grace, steadfastness.
Cut that girl some slack.
Resiliency.
Cut that girl some slack. Dang. I don't know. Talk about it.
It's funny. Every time I forget what word you just said, but it made me think of that damn meme with that couple, like, it's the love and admiration for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the little
it was a
cultural
TikTok.
appropriation.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Well, sorry that felt
Pop
bad.
culture things are such a dead point.
Keeping intimacy alive has less to do with private parts touching and more to do with communication. Stay intimate,
I can
people.
agree with that.
Stay intimate, people.
Stay golden boy. What is it?
You always kill my outros every single
Was
time.
that your outro?
That was so succinct. That was so
Say
succinct.
it again. Say it again so you know
it's
they
gone,
were.
Kevin. It's gone.
You said keeping intimacy alive is about
communication.
There we go.
Stay intimate, people. This has been the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast.
We out.